Good evening. My name is Brian Haggerty. I'm the chair of the Board of Trustees at the El Paso Community College Board of Trustees. I want to welcome you all to our regular scheduled board meeting here at the college. If you are listening at home and want to follow us on the internet, you can go to www.youtube.com/user/go EPCC. Again, I want to welcome everyone here tonight. And before we get started, if we could all stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And before we start, I'd like to take a moment of silence, please, in memory of our board member that has just passed away, Miss Nina Pena. Thank you. Okay, Bill, let's start with the roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Uxer.
Aye.
Mrs. Robles.
Aye.
Ms. Nájera.
Here.
Mr. Mendez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham will be here shortly. Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Item 1.4, approval of minutes. There is none. Item 1.5, welcome to guests and staff members.
Again, I'd like to welcome all of you that are joined us here this evening. Open forum, Bill.
Item 1.6, open forum. There are none. Item 1.7, presentations by individuals, groups, and organizations. Item 1.7.1, Mr. Rene Peña, CPA, Peña Briones McDaniel & Co. will present the audit results for the fiscal year 2024 financial statements.
And let the record show that Dr. Graham has just showed up to the meeting. Good evening.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen. Thank you very much. It's always an honor to be here to present to you all the audit report. We appreciate the chance to do the audit services for you all. And I'll go ahead and start out as I usually enjoy starting out, saying congratulations. It's been, quite honestly, a fantastic year on the financial side. The numbers are showing very strong numbers. As we've told you before, we do what's called a single audit, where we have to look at your financial statements. We look at the financial reporting. Are they in accordance with generally government acceptable accounting standards? Are they in compliance with the accounting standards, with the regulations? And do you have a strong internal control? And I'm going to say in all of the above, the answer is yes. You had very good controls. We are required under our standard to present this to the full board, full management, and so that's what I'm doing here in front of you today. I'll try to keep it short, sweet. It's 100 and some odd pages. I've got it down to just a few slides that hopefully will bring out the higher points. We did have a full committee meeting with the council just a few weeks ago where we went more in depth. So I'll give you, if you don't mind, the highlights, but if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to answer. I do have my assistants here who helped throughout the audit. So first of all, what's our responsibility? And these are required that I talk to you about these things, if you don't mind. Our responsibilities are to report on the financial data, to report that we do testing and analyzing of the college's internal control, as I just indicated, and then we test and analyze the college's compliance with the federal regulations. Management's responsibility, you all have the responsibility of establishing and maintaining internal control. That's what we test and look at, including monitoring of that internal control, which I can test that is done, made presentation to y'all and seeing the monitoring that y'all doing. You have the responsibility of selection and application of the accounting principles. This is thrown on with the chief financial officer and the accounting department. And then the fair presentation of the financial report to the governance committee so that you can establish quality and fair budgets and see that the budgets are adhered to. So what did we do? Well, the scope of what we did We take a look testing of the financial statements to make sure that the numbers are materially correct, that you followed proper governmental accounting policies and procedures, and that you had proper internal control over these. Notice I hit internal control quite a few times. It's that important. So what were the results of that? Well, these were the highlights that I'm pulling out of, like I said, the 100-plus page report. Your cash and investments increased by $30 million to $314 million. This is how much you have in cash. And what that indicates is the college has extreme liquidity at this point, which is very strong, very good, and we haven't always had that. But the last several years, it's been growing stronger. Your current assets increased by $35 million, all the way up to the $371 million. Your deferred outflow, that was that pension plan, I'm going to call it problem, that we brought it to you about 5-10 years ago on one of our GASBs, and it had a huge effect of $70+ million. Well, this year it actually decreased by $6 million. It's not a problem, it's not an issue, and it's sitting on the books at $19 million. And all in all, your total assets are sitting with an increase of $31 million, all the way up to $629 million. And by the way, your total liabilities are $340 million, so you have significant assets over your liabilities. Speaking of liabilities, total liabilities, as I said, decreased by $5 million to 288, with the deferred outflow, which decreased by $3.7 million to $33 million. So, moral of the story is our issue related to the pension plan and the other post-retirement costs have diminished significantly, and there's no, I would argue, no concern, and you're in good shape with the pensions, and we're not affecting the financial statements with those issues anymore. Additional results, what else did I pull out of the financial statement? Your net position. I think I've told you before, that's the capital, that's the equity that the organization, that the college has for future funding for increased by $39 million, all the way up to $208 million. Operating revenue during the year increases. The operating revenue by itself increased by $816,000. Non-operating revenue increased by $6 million, and that's in spite of the fact that in previous year, last year, year before this, I should say, we had $22 million of COVID fund. So the COVID fund went away, and yet we still increased by $6 million. Revenue from state appropriations increased by $12 million, including $5 million on the new FAST, and then operating expenses increased by $9 million. And again, being the college, I would argue operating expenses is a positive thing because it means you're helping the public, helping the students. Those are pretty much the financial results. What we consider to see the significant issues coming out of there, again, is that the net pension plan liability actually decreased, as I said before. Your pension discount rate stayed at 7%. These are things that always affect the board. The other post-retirement plan discount rate increased slightly to 3.59 from 3.59 to 3.81, and the net pension deferred outflow had to decrease. So again, no problems related there. Additional results are that the college is following government accounting principles monthly and annually. And to me, that's really important. It's where I get to say, you're getting good reports every single month. We're not having to come in and make any corrections. And there were no audit adjustments during the year. Next couple of slides, just additional results. Our opinion was a clean opinion in all respects. There were no material weaknesses. There were no significant deficiencies on internal control. There were no instances of non-compliance, and the Public Funds Investment Act was in compliance. These are the regulatory guidance items that we have to touch on. And here, don't worry, I won't go through all these numbers, but just if you look at that chart on the bottom half, looking from right to left, that's how much you have grown in the last 5 years in your equity, in your net position. You were at $128 million in 2020, and you're up to $308 million in your net equity in 2024. So just a tremendous increase in this short period. And also what's important of that, back in 2020, your 128 covered about 14% of the expenditures of the college. Today, we have 102% of our entire expenditure sitting in our equity account. Nothing can say that you're in a stronger position than that, in my opinion. How did these numbers occur? And again, just showing you some of the general numbers. Your total operating revenue, operations haven't really increased. You've had a reduction in students over the COVID period. You're coming back. And so you were at $34 million in operating revenue 5 years ago. You jumped it up to 31 a year ago and up to 32 million this year. So we're itching our way back up in operating revenue. And that's basically our tuition and the student type fees. Our non-operating revenues, which is the state and federal government subsidizing, is all the way up to 194 compared to 170 4 years ago and 188 just last year. So tremendous increase in your government subsidies and funding. So all in all, your total revenue jumped up to 227 from the $204 million, over a 10% increase in this 5-year period in total revenue. Whereas your expenditures have actually dropped because, again, with fewer students, you have fewer overhead costs related to it. So this past year spent $187 million in the operations of the college. This allowed you to put an extra $39 million onto the bottom line for future expenditures. Next slide, just to show some of the statistics on your full-time staffing. You can see you're at 17,355 5 years ago, and you did drop down to 14,400 last year before last, and this past year you were at 15,159. And the average revenue per full-time student cost was at $2,146 compared to $1,961 5 years ago. So again, just showing complete growth. And again, I won't go all these. This is more of a take-home. But if you look at the chart at the bottom of this, it could show you what I see out of this, if you would, is the students' portion of the revenues coming in is that little blue line, and the state is the orange line above. So the student cost of the operating revenue at $32 million, where the federal government and the other agencies provide $194 million, compared to $170 million 5 years ago. So again, giving everybody a snapshot of how the public is supporting, and the students don't have to cover so much of their costs. And finally, on the expenditure side, again, not to go into all these details, more for your viewing, but looking at the bottom line, your total operating expenses at 182 this year compared to 190 5 years ago and compared to 173 just last year. And again, if you look at our instructional costs, we're finally itching back up. It was at 66 million 5 years ago when we had more students, and we dropped down to 60 million 2 years past and just jumped up to 63. So as students are coming back, we're increasing some of that cost. And the last couple of slides are just to show the faculty and then the staff and administration, and the bottom chart is showing the combination of the two. And again, as you can see, in years past where we had so significantly more staff and faculties. I think visually this covers it better. And that's my story, and I'll stick to it. You all have done a fantastic job. Congratulations on continuously getting the certificate of achievement year after year, and the financial accounting standards being closely followed. I'd like to thank the administration. Your staff just does a fantastic job across the board. And again, it always comes down from good guidance from the board.
How many years does this make that you've done our auditing?
I know over 20, and I tried to get to the exact number, but I couldn't
I've
find
been
it.
here 30. I think you've been here the same time.
So maybe it's been over 30, sir.
I have
I
one question.
appreciate it. Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate your work, and Mr. Flores, I appreciate your staff.
In 21, on page 15, you show that we have gifts of 30 million, which I think we know that was the grant. But there's a $3 million gift. What was a sale of assets? Was that associated with the building program we had?
I can't remember directly.
Page 15.
Bernie, do you remember that specific?
The 3.2 million is from. The 3.2 million, 3.287 million?
All I see is 3 million and 30 million. For one was gifts and one was what?
So on
In
page 15, under.
year
24?
2021.
Oh, 2021.
Yeah, gifts. I mean, that's a row title. Everything is blank except that 1 year.
Gosh, I don't know what that is in 20. I can research it for you
Okay.
and see what that is.
It says sale of assets. I don't know
Right, it
what
says
that is.
gain on sale of capital assets.
Yeah?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I will research that and.
Sure. Then
Provide you an
if
answer.
we don't know, we don't know.
Just don't have that detail in front of us right now.
Well, it probably was for Mr. Flores, but that's all right.
You have any more
Any
questions?
questions?
No, I'm just curious what we
Thank you so
sold.
much. Really appreciate it.
I appreciate it. And again, thank you for allowing us to provide services on it. Do you know?
It was for the sale on the Stanton building?
Oh, it was for the sale of the Stanton building.
That was, okay.
Good job. Okay. Thank you. Good job. All right, well, thank you all. Keep up the good
Thank
work. We
you.
appreciate what you do for El Paso.
Again, give our appreciation to your staff, Mr. Flores, for doing such a great job.
Thank you.
Item 1.7.2, Dr. William Serrata, College President, will present the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting for fiscal year 2023 to Mr. Fernando Flores, Vice President, Finance and Administration, and Ms. Ana Zuniga, Associate Vice President of Budget and Financial Services.
Chair Haggerty, members of the board, this is my opportunity to give thanks to our financial folks. It is my pleasure to take a moment to celebrate a significant achievement in our institution's continued success. As you all know, achieving excellence in financial reporting is no small feat. It takes a sharp eye for detail, a solid understanding of complex financial guidelines, and most importantly, a real commitment to ensuring everything is accurate and transparent. Today, we're proud to present the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting to two outstanding members of our team, Mr. Fernando Flores as well as Ms. Ana Zuniga. Mr. Flores, as our Vice President of Finance and Administration, your leadership and strategic oversight have ensured that our financial reporting meets and exceeds industry standards. Your expertise and dedication to managing our finances have helped us plan for the future and build trust with our partners. Where is he? There, he's on my right. Okay. Ms. Zuniga, as our Associate Vice President of Budget and Financial Services, your careful budgeting and attention to detail have been crucial in shaping our financial outlook and ensuring accuracy and accountability in our reporting. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and the college, thank you both. This recognition is an indication of your dedication and exceptional work that you do every day. We're incredibly fortunate to have such talented and driven individuals guiding our financial operations. It's my pleasure to present this heavy piece of Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. I believe this is the 27th, 28th time in a row. Congratulations to each.
Why don't you bring him up here, Dr. Serrata? I want to take a picture with the board.
You carry the heavy equipment. Actually, I'm here next.
Item 1.7.3, Dr. William Serrata, College President, will recognize individuals who have retired from El Paso Community College.
Judge Haggerty and members of the board, this is always a bittersweet moment to acknowledge our great faculty and staff who have chosen to end their careers and to move on to the next phase of life. Today, we're celebrating Mr. Andrew W. Lawrence. After 34 years at El Paso Community College, including 18 years in the Information Technology Department, Mr. Lawrence has decided to retire and embark on the next chapter of his life. Come on up, Mr. Lawrence. In 2008, he transitioned to the Distance Learning Support Services, the DLSS department, and served as technical coordinator. During this time, he played a key role in overseeing the college's learning management system infrastructure through 4 major upgrades. Additionally, he has served as a liaison between the college and all regional high schools that offer college courses for dual credit. He ensured that the high school equipment met the college's technical requirement, which included on-site visits. He also provided and verified compatibility for essential software. Furthermore, he worked with high schools to ensure that any issues that arose preventing student success was addressed quickly and assisted with student login issues when connecting to the EPCC Blackboard system or publisher sites directly. Mr. Lawrence has been dedicated to fostering academic growth and advancing the institution's mission throughout his career. He collaborated with the Competency-Based Education Department to assist with integrating publisher content and transferring courses and other information between Blackboard and Desire to Learn Brightspace. As Mr. Lawrence gets ready to retire, he thinks about the relationships he built and their lasting impact during his time at the college. He's grateful for the journey that EPCC has brought to him, and is excited to embrace the new chapter, carrying with him lessons learned and the connections and friendships made. Mr. Lawrence has been a good colleague, known for his expertise, collaborative spirit, and unwavering commitment to student success. His passion for ensuring our LMS system runs smoothly, and his willingness to support faculty, staff, and students have left a lasting impact. While we will miss Mr. Lawrence's presence and contributions, we wish him all the best and hope that he enjoys a well-deserved retirement. Congratulations, sir.
Okay, everyone, here it is. Thank you.
That's the judge. Got the wrong seat.
Item 1.7.4, optional presentations will be made by the presidents of the Classified Staff Association, the Professional Staff Association, the Faculty Association, and the Student Government Association.
Nobody hear this one?
I thought I saw Dr. B.
They don't want to tell us anything.
Section
Wow. Let the record show this is a first.
Section 1.8, Communications. Item 1.8.1, Discussion and Review regarding data statistics, policies, and general information related to El Paso Community College by the Board of Trustees.
Chair Haggerty and members of the board, we felt that the audit presentation would cover that for this particular meeting. So you are excused from 1.7.4,
Okay,
or 1.8.1 rather.
okay.
Section 1.9, Board of Trustees Business. Items 1.9.1 through 1.9.4 will be discussed after executive session. Item 1.9.5, discussion and take appropriate action on an election order calling for an election to be held on May 3rd, 2025 for the following single-member electoral districts, Districts 4, 5, and 6.
So we need a motion that we're gonna handle this? Is that what we need? I hear a motion.
So made.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the question, Bill.
Mr. Uxer,
Aye.
Mrs. Robles,
Aye.
Ms. Nájera,
Aye.
Mr. Mendez,
Aye.
Dr. Graham,
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Item 1.9.6, discussion and take appropriate action on authorizing the execution of a contract between the college and the County of El Paso, Texas for election services in an amount not to exceed $500,000.
Move to approve?
Second.
Any discussion? Do we get to work a, kind of like a deal with these guys? 500,000 is a lot of money. No other questions? Call the question.
Mr. Uxer,
Aye.
Mrs. Robles,
Aye.
Ms. Nájera,
Aye.
Mr. Mendez,
Aye.
Dr. Graham,
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Item 1.9.7, discussion and take action to approve the interlocal governmental agreement for joint election between the college and El Paso Independent School District.
Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve?
Second.
Any discussion? Are they gonna pay half of the 500,000?
No, that's still our portion.
Oh, my God. Okay. Call the question.
Mr. Uxer,
Aye.
Mrs. Robles,
Aye.
Ms. Nájera,
Aye.
Mr. Mendez,
Aye.
Dr. Graham,
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Item 1.9.8, discussion and action to approve resolution of support for continued investment in the dynamic community college funding model established by House Bill 8.
Move to approve. Second.
Any discussion? What is this, Doctor?
Yeah, so Judge Haggerty, members of the board, this is the trustee association from the state of Texas asking each of the respective boards, boards of trustees and/or boards of regents to approve the funding for House Bill 8 or the ask for funding. I remind the board that we're looking at a continued investment in House Bill 8. We're asking the state of Texas and the legislature to fully fund that the new mechanism of funding that was established in the 88th legislative session in 2023. We're asking them to move forward in the 89th to move forward with continuing that. So those four items specifically spell out the ask of the community college sector, and it declares your support for that ask.
Any other questions? Call the question, Bill.
Mr. Uxer,
Aye.
Mrs. Robles,
Aye.
Ms. Nájera,
Aye.
Mr. Mendez,
Aye.
Dr. Graham,
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Section 1.10, Board Reports. Item 1.10.1, Treasurer's Report. No action is required. This includes item 1.10.1.1, November 30th, 2024 financial statements. Item 1.10.1.2, December 31st, 2024 financial statements. No action is required. Item 1.10.2, President's Report. Item 1.10.2.1, Dr. William Serrata, College President, will update the Board of Trustees and audience on recent events that have transpired at El Paso Community College.
Good afternoon, Chair Haggerty and members of the board. I'd like to begin my report by sending our thoughts and prayers to Mr. Mike Pina, Ms. Pina's husband, her children Brenda, Brianna, Alex, and Mikey, and the entire Pina family for the loss of Mrs. Nina Pina. Mrs. Pina served on the board with dedication and commitment for nearly 6 years, contributing to the growth and success of the college. Her passion for students was always apparent, and she will be deeply missed by all of us. While we remember and reflect, it's also important to celebrate the continued progress of the college. Today, I'm pleased to share several accomplishments to display this. This past December, the college celebrated 2,099 students with associate degrees and certificates. I would like to recognize Dr. Amaya and his team for the long hours and efforts to celebrate our students. Would also like to thank the EMSP program for their participation in the ceremonies. The EMSP program provided medical teams at the Memorial Gym Assembly site for the 3 ceremonies from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. The teams were composed of EMSP faculty, staff, and paramedic students. Thank you to the EMSP participants for your time and contributions. Thank you to our Board of Trustees for setting a clear vision of student success, our faculty and staff for guiding our students to get to the commencement, and all attendees for sharing in the celebration of an amazing milestone. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2024. Would also like to congratulate Ms. Sarah Sarela Aguilar and her team for a successful Sun City Portfolio Day event. The 6th annual Sun City Portfolio Day is all about supporting local talent and giving high school and EPCC students the opportunity to show off their artwork to colleges and universities without having them leave the city. It's a great opportunity for students to connect with schools and possibly walk away with a scholarship offer. Congratulations, Ms. Aguilar and her team for all their effort and hard work. The Student Success Tutoring Team was busy tutoring students during this year's winter semester, which was held from December 16th to January 10th. They provided academic tutoring support to students who registered to complete an entire course in just 4 weeks during the winter break. Online tutoring was open 7 days a week from 12 noon to 7 p.m. It was also available online. Students who logged in for an online tutoring were very thankful for the support. One student wrote, "I compliment the professionalism and patience of the tutors in helping me learn the material I needed." Another student wrote, "The tutor helped me a lot with questions I kept getting wrong." Thank you for the Student Success Tutoring Team for the great work supporting our students. The EPCC Veterans Resource Center proudly announces that the Valle Verde and Trans Mountain Centers are fully operational and ready to assist all veterans and military-affiliated students. Both locations offer services to students who are active duty, retired, reservists, or National Guard veterans, their spouses of veterans, and dependent children of service-disabled veterans. The Trans Mountain VRC has also relocated to a fully modernized space adjacent to the Center for Students with Disabilities. Mr. Carl Dwyer invites all faculty, staff, and students to the grand reopening celebrations for both locations. You have flyers that show that, which are currently planned for tomorrow, January 30th. The Valle Verde ceremony starts at 10 a.m., and the Trans Mountain ceremony begins at 2 p.m. Congratulations to Mr. Dwyer and all of our team on both grand openings. Congratulations to our echocardiography program on their recent pass rate success. The program's second-year echocardiography student cohort achieved a 100% pass rate on the ARDMS sonography principles and instrumentation exam, which is reflective of the hard work and dedication of our faculty as well as our students. The Fashion Technology program hosted a dynamic fashion finals week, culminating in a pop-up fashion show and a panel of distinguished industry experts. Held at the Trans Mountain campus, the fashion show allowed students to showcase their designs on live models for the first time, offering a real-world experience that included styling, music selection, and feedback from instructors. Before the show, a review session for students in the Fashion Collection Design course provided valuable insights for a panel of esteemed fashion professionals. Notable panelists included Pam Velez, head designer at Arizona Bottoms and Outwear, Amy Bond, designer and educator from Otis College of Art and Design, and former Project Runway and Netflix's Next in Fashion participant, Emiliano Santillan, designer for Ralph Lauren's men's Purple label, and Ana Zendejas, owner of the boutique Lovers of Mine. These experts offered critical feedback to students on their collections, helping them refine their work. The event underscored the talent within EPCC's fashion technology program and highlighted the importance of industry connections and hands-on experience in preparing students for the competitive fashion industry. The Campus Life and Student Leadership team did a great job hosting a grocery pickup at the Rio Grande campus this past December. El Pasoans Fighting Hunger provided food for 250 people, free and open to all students, faculty, staff, and the overall community. EPCC and El Paso's Fighting Hunger have partnered in the past, the first being in July 2024 at the Valle Verde campus, and the second was in October at the Mission del Paso campus. I would like to thank El Paso's Fighting Hunger, EPCC's student leadership and campus life, new student orientation, and the EPCC Student Government Association for their efforts to address food insecurity on our campuses. The college held extended student registration hours for the spring 2025 semester. I'd like to thank Dr. Amaya as well as the admissions, recruitment, financial aid, testing, counseling, cashiers, first-year experience, and vehicle registration departments who were on hand to assist students during the holiday break. The government discipline invites you to a health and wellness fair, which will take place tomorrow, January 30th, at the Valle Verde Cafeteria Annex from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The event will have free flu shots, HIV syphilis testing, blood sugar testing, health-related screenings, and various presentations will be available. Chair Haggerty, that concludes my report. I'm happy to respond to any questions that the board may have.
Do you have any questions for Dr. Sarate?
There's a video that will play shortly.
My
We
next
wanted to
question.
have this.
Yeah.
bef-
We're going to show you a short video in remembrance of Ms. Pena.
Item 1.11, consent docket, there is none. Section 2, administration. Item 2.1, CDE, DHB, FAA, local TASB policies for first reading and information. No action is required. Section 3, personnel. Item 3.1, information items. Institutionally, externally funded full-time staff and faculty appointments, extensions, resignations, and retirements. No action is required. Section 4, financial services. Item 4.1, discussion and action on the approval of contracts with several purchasing cooperative awarded vendors for the district-wide purchases of medical and scientific products in an amount not to exceed $900,000 estimated annual aggregate amount.
Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Call a question, Bill.
Mr. Uxer,
Aye.
Mrs. Robles,
Aye.
Mr. Mendez, Dr. Graham,
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Item 4.2, discussion and action on the renewal of a one-year Banner Technical Advisory Services and Technology Support contract with Illusion Company, LP, in an amount not to exceed $163,504.
Move to approve 4.2 and 4.3.
Second.
Item 4.3, discussion and action on the approval to award a contract for a 60-month lease to Xerox Corporation for a multifunction digital imaging production copier printer for the Valle Verde Instructional Service Center in an amount not to exceed $155,000 for 5 years.
Any questions on those two items? Call a question. Bill.
Mr. Uxer,
Aye.
Mrs. Robles,
Aye.
Ms. Nájera,
Aye.
Mr. Mendez,
Aye.
Dr. Graham,
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Item 4.4, discussion and action on the renewal of Grammarly for Education for a 19-month term with Grammarly, Inc. in the amount of $102,410.
Move to approve, and I'd like a little more clarification beyond what's written on the agenda.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Do we have any, I guess this is Marco Fernandez.
Yes, ma'am. So Grammarly is a service that is used in the instruction area as well. Primarily for instructors or professors in the English discipline. This is for students that helps them enhance their writing skills, as well as providing staff as well access to it that allows us to use it for checking grammar, and it also suggests different improvements in style of the context of the text.
Do we know if other colleges are using it?
Yes, ma'am, there are other colleges that use it as well across the nation.
Any other questions? Call a question.
Mr. Uxer,
Aye.
Mrs. Robles,
Aye.
Ms. Nájera,
Aye.
Mr. Mendez,
Aye.
Dr. Graham,
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Item 4.5, discussion and action on the approval of a contract award to Scenario Learning, LLC, doing business as Vector Solutions for the use of their online learning management system, LMS, for employee and student compliance and other associated training services for the district in an amount not to exceed $82,611.
Move to approve 4.5 and 4.6 and 4.7.
Second.
Go ahead.
Item 4.6, discussion and action on the approval of a resolution setting up a TextPool Prime account with the designated representatives authorized to transact business with TextPool, a Texas local government investment pool. Item 4.7, discussion and action on the approval of adding a signatory on bank resolutions for Wells Fargo Bank N.A.
Any questions on those three items? Call a question, Bill.
Mr. Uxer,
Aye.
Mrs. Robles,
Aye.
Ms. Nájera,
Aye.
Mr. Mendez,
Aye.
Dr. Graham,
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Section 5, physical facilities, none. Section 6, curriculum and instruction. Item 6.1, discussion and action on the approval of the new Occupational Skills Award in Continuing Education Nursing Assistant.
Move to approve 6.1, 6.2, and 6.3, and 6.4.
Second.
Item 6.2, discussion and action on the approval of a new Occupational Skills Award in Continuing Education Phlebotomy Technician. Item 6.3, discussion and action on the approval of the new Occupational Skills Award in Continuing Education Real Estate. Item 6.4, discussion and action on the approval of a new Occupational Skills Award in structural welding.
Chair Haggerty and members of the board, just want to commend Dr. Smith and his team for developing these new programs that are in high demand in our respective community, that pay a living wage, at least a living wage, and that are also in accordance with House Bill 8.
How soon will this be implemented?
Dr. Graham, these being CE programs, they can be implemented very quickly. In fact, we anticipate enrolling the first cohort of students in these programs very shortly. The good news on these is that they consist of existing coursework and fit within our existing budget, so no additional dollars are being expended on these.
Right. Congratulations, great job.
It's all due to the team, and I'd like to recognize AVP Primozic, who's sitting back there, as well as the directors, Cheryl Stiles, if she's back there, and Dr. Olga Valerio, and Miss Leticia Guerra. They're the ones responsible for this.
Great job.
The one on 6.2, that's the one where they stab you for blood, right?
Yes, sir.
Hopefully it's not a stab.
I want you really to work with those. I just went through chemotherapy, and that was the worst part of the whole chemo, was them sticking my arm. So I really want you to make sure they know what they're doing.
Will do, Judge.
Any other questions?
It's probably because you have tough skin.
If you'd like to serve as a...
No, no. I've already played pincushion. Any other questions?
Yeah, if you said that this fits within our current structure, does that mean that most of this is just administrative work to get the official certification then? If the courses exist there, that means we have the facilities and instructors, so this is more of a administrative item than it is, additional.
In a sense, yes, sir. It's packaging them together. If you recall, prior to House Bill 8, the state did not fund CE programs at the level that we're eligible for funding now. And so, yeah, we've taken some of our existing coursework in cooperation and collaboration with our business partners, by the way, in the healthcare fields, et cetera, to package sets of courses that would lead to an occupation in these respective fields.
But you're not really adding additional staff or courses to any significant degree?
If we had any staff, it would be part-time instructors.
Okay.
Any other questions? Call the question, Bill.
Mr. Uxer.
Aye.
Mrs. Robles.
Aye.
Ms. Nájera.
Aye.
Mr. Mendez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham.
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Item 6.5, discussion and action on the acceptance of the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board, THECB, Texas Reskilling and Upskilling Through Education, TRUE, grant in the amount of $177,284.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any questions? Call a question?
Mr. Uxer.
Aye.
Mrs. Robles.
Aye.
Ms. Nájera.
Aye.
Mr. Mendez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham.
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Section 7, Student Services. Item 7.1, discussion and action on the approval of continuing education CE tuition rates for new courses.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the question?
Mr. Uxer.
Aye.
Mrs. Robles.
Aye.
Ms. Nájera.
Aye.
Mr. Mendez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham.
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Section 8, Community Services. There is none. Would the board like to go into executive session?
Please.
Item 1.3, executive and closed session. The Board of Trustees may conduct an executive or closed session pursuant to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code for one or more of the following reasons. 1, consultation with its attorney to seek or receive legal advice or consultation regarding pending or contemplated litigation or for any purpose authorized by law. 2, discussion about the value or transfer of real property. 3, discussion about a prospective gift or donation. 4, consideration of specific personnel matters. 5, discussion about security, personnel, or devices. Or 6, discussion of certain economic development matters. The board may also announce that it will go into executive session on any item listed on this agenda if the subject matter is permitted for a closed session by provisions of Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code. Any vote regarding these items shall be taken in open session. Item 1.3.1, discussion with legal counsel regarding negotiation of exchange of real property between EPCC and County of El Paso, located adjacent to the Mission del Paso campus pursuant to Section 551.072 of the Texas Government Code. Item 1.3.2, discussion with legal counsel regarding an EEOC charge filed by Fariba Ansari, EEOC charge number 453-2024-01741, pursuant to Section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code. Item 1.3.3, discussion with legal counsel regarding a lawsuit styled Catalina Valtierra Piñon versus El Paso County Community College District, cause number 2024 DCV 2798 in the 168th Judicial District Court of El Paso County, Texas, pursuant to Section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code. Item 1.3.4, discussion with legal counsel regarding a lawsuit styled Jesus Ortiz versus El Paso County Community College District, cause number 324 CV00184 in the United States District Court for the Western District of Texas, El Paso Division pursuant to Section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code. Item 1.3.5, discussion with legal counsel regarding the proposed contract termination of an employee in the Division of Instruction and Workforce Education pursuant to Section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code. The time is now 5:23 and the board is in executive session.
Okay, the board is back out of executive session. Belle, we're going to start with item number 1.9.1.
Yes, sir. Item 1.9.1, discussion and take possible action regarding an EEOC charge filed by Fariba Ansari, EEOC charge number 453-2024-01741.
Have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the action discussed with counsel in executive session.
Any discussion?
We need a second, Judge?
Second?
Any discussion? Any questions?
second.
Okay, call the question.
Mr. Uxer.
Aye.
Mrs. Robles.
Aye.
Ms. Nájera.
Aye.
Mr. Mendez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham.
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Item 1.9.2, discussion and take possible action regarding a lawsuit styled Catalina Valtierra Piñon versus El Paso County Community College District, cause number 2024 DCV 2798 in the 168th Judicial District Court of El Paso County, Texas.
Have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the action discussed with counsel in executive session.
Second?
Any discussion? Call the question.
Mr. Uxer.
Aye.
Mrs. Robles.
Aye.
Ms. Nájera.
Aye.
Mr. Mendez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham.
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Item 1.9.3, discussion and take possible action regarding a lawsuit styled Jesus Ortiz versus El Paso County Community College District, cause number 324CV00184 in the United States District Court for the Western District of Texas, El Paso Division.
Make a
Have-
motion,
A motion?
make a motion to approve the action discussed with counsel in executive session.
Second the motion.
All right, any discussion? Call the question.
Mr. Uxer.
Aye.
Mrs. Robles.
Aye.
Ms. Nájera.
Aye.
Mr. Mendez.
Aye.
Dr. Graham.
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Item 1.9.4, discussion and take possible action regarding the proposed contract termination of an employee in the Division of Instruction and Workforce Education.
We're not going to take any action on that item. I want to remind everyone that our next board meeting will be on February the 25th, right here in this board meeting room at 4:30 p.m. We are adjourned.
Thank you, Judge.